What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today, I want to talk about whether or not I believe it's too late to be stacking silver. Did the silver hype train come to an end? Did we miss the boat when it comes to stacking the beautiful white metal? All that and more coming right up. But really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for new videos all the time. Subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive bonus content. Get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel in the biggest possible way. Try out some G Fuel Energy Formula, $5 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. And of course, make sure to go and get your up to 12 free fractional shares by downloading Webull and funding your account. You can deposit as little as you'd like, even as little as a penny. It still works, it still counts. You still get your up to 12 free fractional shares, which you can keep or sell and use the cash to go and get some silver if that's what you want. Webull link in the description. Everything is linked in the description. All right, so today, like most days, is going to be a video to listen to rather than a video to watch. Treat it like a radio show or a podcast or something like that. Keep on doing whatever it is that you're doing. Stay productive. And we're going to go for this walk in the woods. All right, so silver. Is the party over? In my opinion, no. Has the hype and excitement dwindled away? Yes, absolutely. But I believe the hype and excitement has died away in terms of the people that viewed it as a trend. Silver is no longer the trendy topic that it was a couple of years ago. And prior to a couple of years ago, silver was not a trendy topic. It became a trendy topic in 2020. Is it too late to maximize and make the most of and take advantage of the silver bull run of 2020? Yes, absolutely. Why do I say that? Because it's 2023. That is ancient history. Will there be another silver bull run in the future? I believe absolutely. I believe there will be several. A countless number of silver bull runs in the future. When will they be? I have absolutely no idea. But in 2020, something weird happened. The whole world collapsed, essentially. And everyone was looking for a way to save money or protect the money that they had saved, or something different, something unique, something that they haven't tried before because something was going on that they had never experienced before. And all of a sudden, a lot of people became very, very interested in silver. And I'll make this very quick because we all know this by now, but in 2020, when the spot price of silver got like slashed almost in half, and then of course when the spot price started climbing back up, this attracted a couple of different people. Those of us who are already stacking silver saw it as an opportunity to buy the dip, and not just buy the dip, buy the crash. Man, got chopped like 40% or something like that in the blink of an eye. So those of us who were already stacking continued on stacking. Those who hadn't been stacking in a while and maybe they were waiting for a better price, they jumped back in. A lot of the people who weren't really interested in silver became interested in silver. And a lot of the people who didn't even know that stacking silver was even a thing were introduced to the stacking concept, and they dove in as well. This, and a number of other factors, led to the spot price, which was initially cut almost in half, making a relatively quick recovery. And I'm not talking about premiums, I'm talking about the spot price here. Spot price recovered relatively quickly, but then it just kept on climbing. And all of a sudden, for the first time in years and years and years, for the first time in my stacking journey, and at that time I had been stacking silver for I think maybe 2 or 3 years, for the first time in my entire silver stacking journey, silver started making headlines. See, a lot of people didn't really care about silver. Nobody cared about silver except for the people that were stacking silver. It was kind of this, like, I don't want to say it was like an underground thing, but it was just, it's so niche. Like, it's such a, it's such an unusual thing. It's not something that the common person is participating in, has conversations about. It doesn't even cross their mind. It's just such a niche thing. But in 2020, all of a sudden, the doors got like thrown open and everyone started running through. The people who were already participating continued participating. The people who stopped participating restarted participating. The people who didn't really care or didn't want really anything to do with it, or you know, maybe they're like, that's just some dinosaur nonsense that's ancient history. It's all about the digital nonsense nowadays, not the physical nonsense. And then the people who had never even heard about it before started diving in because they were just beginning to learn about it. And then, of course, there was the FOMO people, the fear of missing out people, who had no idea what they were even doing. They were just like, oh, silver's, you know, moving in an upward direction. Therefore, if I buy a couple coins, maybe I'll be a millionaire. They started diving in. And it was just kind of like the perfect storm at the time. A short-lived storm. Because for the first time in a really long time, silver surpassed the $20 mark. And I remember people guaranteeing me that silver will never pass the $20 mark again. And I remember getting these comments less than 24 hours before it hit $20. And then, you know, not only did it hit $20, but it hit $21. And then it hit 22. And then it hit 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. For a split second, it hit $30. It went up to like $30 and a couple cents, and then it pulled back down to $29 and change. And it just popped out of nowhere. And it stayed pretty high. Like, yeah, it went up to, you know, the $29, $30 mark, and then it pulled back. It's at, you know, $26, $27, $28 for quite a bit of time, and then it started to decline. But point being is that silver became like a trendy topic. I remember there were people who used to leave comments on my videos about like, oh, you know, all you silver stackers are so stupid and blah, blah, blah. And oh, what do you know? What do you know? What do you know? Those same people leaving those comments started posting videos. Oh, here's why I'm stacking silver. I decided to start stacking silver. Oh, look at me. Inspired by Mykie DYDSS and Overtax Taxpayer and Solvent Metals and, you know, all of our names in the title. All these people that were hating on silver were all of a sudden trying to take advantage of silver. But they weren't buying silver. They were mocking silver when it was $14. And then all of a sudden they were dumping their life savings in at $27, $28. Interesting how that works. But it became this trendy thing. Silver was making headlines. People who loved silver already, like, were still talking about silver. People that hated silver were obviously talking about silver. People that were just now discovering silver were talking about silver and interested in learning about silver and discovering, you know, different coins, rounds, and bars, and, you know, gold as well, by the way. It just became a trendy thing. All of a sudden, it was just more of a popular thing to talk about, more of a popular thing to do. And I think a lot of that came from the fear of missing out and the expectation that silver was going to officially take off. Did it jump up in price by a significant amount? Yes, it absolutely did. Did it go all the way to the moon? No, it didn't. In recent lows, at the lowest point in recent years, what, about $14 to the high of 30 for a split second? Yeah, that is a pretty big jump. If you take a look at 2018 prices, and at the low of 2018 from when I was stacking to the high of 2020 when I was stacking, yeah, pretty big jump, going from, you know, $14, $15 all the way up to $29, $30. Doubled in price, essentially. But something doubling in price over the course of a couple of years, and especially during like a short-lived event like that where, you know, it pulled back down, And not for nothing. If you started earlier than I started, you could have gotten silver even cheaper. I started, silver was like $14, or when I started, silver was actually $17, and it went down to $14 during my first year, and I kept on buying. But if you started at a different time, you might have gotten silver at $13, $12, $11, $10, whatever. If you started later on down the road, maybe $17, $18, $19, $20, $21. Depends on what your starting point was and what spot price was looking like at that time. During my first year of stacking, like after 12 months of stacking, the average spot price is like $14, $15. So I got a lot of it for very, very cheap, and premiums barely even existed back then. Like $1.50 over spot. Completely different world nowadays. But it's not nearly as talked about. I mean, those of us who were talking about it before it became a trendy topic are obviously still talking about it because it's something that we were interested in for the right reason. It's something that we were interested in because it's something that we liked. It was something that we found unique. It was something that we maybe we especially, maybe it wasn't even so much the silver. Maybe it was more so the silver community or whatever. Or a way of saving money in a different way, a more private way, a more, on your own, do it your own way type of way. Whatever your reason was for stacking in the first place, if you were stacking before it became this big hot trend, I would go ahead and assume that you're probably still stacking today, or at least still have your silver today, or at least still listening to the videos like this about silver today. But is it too late to be stacking silver? I would say absolutely not. Because if you started stacking for the right reason, I don't think there's ever really such a thing as too late. Same goes for investing, by the way. Maybe you didn't start investing in the stock market at the bottom of the crash of 2020. Maybe that's not when you got started. Maybe you got started today, where the S&P is up 16.5% year to date. Is that too late to start investing? I would say no. So the same could be said about silver and obviously gold. I don't think there's such a thing as too late to get started. I don't think there's such a thing as too old to get started. It's never too late, and you're never too old to start giving a crap about your finances and your financial future and setting yourself up for the future, or setting your kids, your grandkids up for the future. Even if it's a small amount, guess what? It's a small amount of something that's generational. It's a small amount of something that could be passed down. It's a small amount of something that at the very least could be pretty helpful at some point. Because tough times are ahead for everyone. Like, not everything is going to be smooth sailing forever. There will be rocky times. Many people would argue that, what we're going through right now is a rocky time. And I'm sure it is for a lot of people. I've prepared myself in a lot of different ways over the years. I started preparing myself probably around the same time I started stacking silver. That's when I got into prepping as well. I started buying a bunch of the supplies that I know that I would probably need in the event of an emergency, or if, God forbid, my income got taken away, I would still have the food and the supplies and a lot of the stuff that I would ordinarily be spending my paychecks on. If something bad were to happen, God forbid, at the very least, I wouldn't have to spend my paycheck, my non-existent paycheck, on these things, because I already have these things. That's why I started buying all the prepping supplies and the emergency equipment and tools and food and water purification methods and portable, charging stations and whatnot. That's why I bought this stuff. It's for that reason right there. So I don't really view what we're going through right now as too difficult of a time, because things have picked up a lot. Things have gotten better. The economy is not where it should be, but it's a lot better than where it was earlier this year and last year. Inflation has come down dramatically. Things are picking back up. Again, we're nowhere near where we should be. but we have seen quite a bit of progress at the very least. Things are getting a little bit better. We have a long way to go, but we're better than where we were this time last year, that's for sure. If you disagree with that statement, you're either too political to understand the truth, or you're asleep at the wheel. But when it comes to silver, if you started stacking for the right reason, as a way of saving money in a different way, and utilizing silver as a potential opportunity metal, I wouldn't recommend, trying the whole buy low, sell high thing, or converting your silver to gold every chance you get. Wouldn't recommend it. Can't breathe out here. Just because there's way too much to worry about, and just so much effort's involved in that. You got to pay, super close attention to everything going on. I wouldn't recommend the buy low, sell high type of thing unless you had the time to manage all that. But if you're utilizing silver as a potential opportunity metal, where you buy low from time to time, or maybe you just buy on a regular basis, and maybe the price goes up and the gold to silver ratio gap closes in a little bit, and you see an opportunity to take some of your silver and just trade it for a little bit of gold at a ratio that you consider to be fair, and sure, you take the potential opportunity metal and you convert it to what's typically viewed as the more stable metal between the two. And you're in it for the right reason. You're not in it because you think it's a get-rich-quick thing, because it's not. It's definitely not. But you're in it to save money in a different way, save money in a more private way, and use real, true, honest money as your method of doing so. Internationally recognizes money, constitutionally recognizes money, biblically recognizes money, real, true, honest money. And you use this real, true, honest money as your method of, storing value. Now, sure, the spot price goes up, the spot price also goes down. We do see volatility. We do see market fluctuations. Things do go on in the world that have an impact on the spot price. There is a global silver demand. So when we're in a recession and we're retracting, maybe people are making less money and people are spending less money, we're probably not going to see a massive increase in jewelry sales, because why would people be buying like luxury items and whatnot when the economy is, not looking too good? So the global silver demand can go down. Or during times like these where we're seeing more and more people, more and more households, more and more companies choosing to go solar. For that reason right there, we could see a small bump up in the global silver demand, because silver is needed to make solar panels. And these are just a couple of examples. Like, silver has over 10,000 different jobs. It's the most reflective metal on the planet. It's the greatest conductor of both heat and electricity. Silver's a really important metal. Gold's a really important metal as well, but I'm focusing more on silver at this time. It's used in so many different ways, and depending on what's going on in the world, it could be used in this one particular way a little bit more, or maybe a little bit less. And due to these factors, it plays a role in the global silver demand. It's not just exclusively people buying coins. Like, if the spot price goes up, it's not because people bought more coins that day. If the spot price goes down, it's not because people bought less coins that day or people sold their coins that day. Like, that's not why. Silver relies on so many different factors. And I've been saying for years now, it has a list of factors, and every factor has a separate list of sub-factors. It's more complex than you would think, which is a good thing, by the way. Because if silver was entirely reliant on like 4 things, can you imagine if one of those 4 things got taken away? Can you imagine this four-legged creature and all of a sudden you just break one of its legs? Not good. It's gonna struggle. Imagine breaking one of your legs and you're only walking around on two. So imagine if silver was only reliant on like 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 things, and 1 or 2 of those things got taken away. The whole thing would collapse. No, silver has like 10,000 different jobs. Which I consider to be incredibly safe. Silver's pretty diversified. The only problem with silver is like, all it is that thing. All it is silver. It's not like an index fund, which is a whole collection of different things bundled up together. No, silver is, it's only what it is. It's only silver. It has a lot of different jobs. It's used in a lot of different industries, a lot of different sectors. It's used in so many different ways, and it's very versatile. But the problem I have with it is that it's just silver. Which could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. Wouldn't say it's a bad thing. It's just one of the downsides. So is it too late? If you're looking to get rich off of a bull run that ended like 2 years ago, yeah. Too late for that. And the only way you would have gotten rich off of that is if you had like an ungodly amount of silver in the first place and you sold it all at the very top. But at the end of the day, that's not really what silver is even like supposed to be used for. The precious metal should, at least in my opinion, be looked at as a way of saving money, not a way of making money. I do not think the physical precious metals are an investment. I do not consider them to be an investment, and they do not perform nearly as well, anywhere near as well. I mean, the stock market like puts precious metals to shame when it comes to like returns. Real estate puts the precious metals to shame when it comes to returns. Businesses put the precious metals to shame when it comes to returns. When it comes to capital gains, when it comes to appreciation, when it comes to revenue, it makes the precious metals look like a laughingstock if you categorize them as an investment. I don't believe you should categorize them as an investment, because that's not what they are. A method of saving money should not be looked at as a way of making money. That's how I see it. That's how I've seen it for a very long time, and that's how I will continue to see it. So is it too late? No, it's not. It's never too late to start saving money. It's never too late to start utilizing an asset class as a method of wealth preservation. It's never too late, or you're never too old to begin utilizing metals as a way of storing value and hedging against inflation long term. Did silver do an incredible job hedging against inflation in 2022? No, it absolutely did not. Has it been doing a good job hedging against inflation this year so far? No, it absolutely has not. But this year and last year, that's all short term. I'm talking about decades into the future. I do believe silver will do what it's supposed to do long term. You just need to have a long-term vision. I don't believe you should look at what's going on today and be like, oh, silver, yeah, see, it's not doing what it's supposed to. Yeah, because you're looking at today. Yeah, spot price is down today. Doesn't mean that silver is the loser long term. I do believe silver is going to win long term, and I think gold is definitely going to win long term. If you're looking at a way of saving money, storing value, and preserving wealth long term, not if you're looking to save money and preserve wealth and store value today, yesterday, last year, and the next couple of months. No. It's all about the long term. It's all about the long run. What's happening in like current events don't matter when it comes to the long haul. That's how I see it. But long story short, is it too late? No, it's not too late. Never too late to start saving. It's never too late to begin working on your finances and increasing your financial IQ and become a more well-rounded individual when it comes to your money. Begin saving in a slightly more unique way, doing things a little bit different than most. I believe putting $100 into silver today and leaving it alone for the next 10 plus years is going to be a lot more valuable than putting $100 in a savings account, regardless of if it's currently a high yield savings account or not, and fast forwarding 10 years. See, the silver and gold, is it performing incredibly well right now and last year? Not really, because we're looking at that from a short-term perspective. But a savings account today, is that performing well? Yeah, it is. That's why I'm utilizing a savings account. I've never, ever kept money in a savings account before. But I am this year because I'm riding the high yield wave. Will rates eventually get slashed? Yes. When? Not sure. I'm sure I have some time. And if and when they do, or when they do get slashed, I will take the currency out and put it where I believe it's where I believe the best fit is at that time. Will a savings account pay off massively long term? I don't think so. I think it will in the short term because of the short-term high yields. And the opposite is true for silver and gold. Are they increasing in value tremendously today or this year so far? No, gold is only up about 5.5%. Silver's down about 4-point-something% for the year to date. And that's because we're looking at the last 6 months. That's recent history. That's short term. What if we're out maybe 5-10 years? That's a different story. That's a more long-term approach. That's how we should look at it. But at the end of the day, if you're looking to make money, do I think silver is the right move? No. I do not think precious metals are the right move if you are looking to increase your income. I do not think silver and gold are the right decision if you're trying to build wealth. I think silver and gold are a better way of preserving wealth that has already been built, which is why I'm significantly less focused on them at this time. I'm focusing on building wealth. I'm focusing on increasing my income and beefing up my net worth, and later on down the road when the time is right, when the economy is in a different place, I will take some of the wealth that I built up and consider converting some of that wealth into silver and gold, and probably at that point more so gold. But no, it's not too late to start. It's not too late to start saving currency. It's not too late to start converting currency to real, true, honest money. It's not too late to increase your income. It's not too late to beef up your net worth. It's not too late to start building wealth. It's not too late to start preserving wealth. It is not too late. It's only too late if you're sitting here in 2023 wishing you can go back in time to the bull run of 2020. Yeah, that's too late. You missed that boat. But if you start stacking today, or if you get some silver and just simply keep it in your possession, tuck it away somewhere, and you don't have to stack on a consistent basis. If you go and get some silver, put it away and forget about it, next time that there's a bull run, there you go. Just something to think about. Just something to talk about. I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. When it comes to stacking silver, do you think it's too late? Do you think silver is what it was a couple of years ago? Do you think that that there was something different a few years ago? Maybe, obviously the world's in a different place at this time. The economy's definitely in a different place at this time in comparison to where it was in 2018. The world's different. It's only been a couple of years, but a lot of stuff has changed. Do you think silver is what it used to be? Even just from a couple of years ago? Do you think maybe you were stacking long before I've been stacking for, I don't know, like what, 5.5 years at this point? Maybe you've been stacking for longer, or maybe around the same, or maybe a shorter amount of time. But maybe you disagree with what I said in this video. Maybe you think it is too late. If that's your opinion, that's your opinion. Do you think it's too late at this point? Do you think the hype train getting derailed a few years ago, or the hype train dying down, or, you know, the silver party ending a couple years ago, you think maybe we're not going to see what we saw in the past again in the future? Maybe that's your belief. I personally don't know what to expect in the future. I believe silver and gold will continue to be probably a good way of saving money long term, but at this time I'm not really focused on saving money. I'm focused on making more money and increasing my income and beefing up my net worth, and later on down the road, if and when the time is right, I may get back into it. But at this time, I'm not parting ways with anything that I own. Any coins, rounds, or bars, everything I have is tucked away. And that's really, that's pretty much it. But I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Do you think it's too late to be stacking silver? Or maybe you've been stacking for a while and you're going to continue stacking silver, and you think that that's perfectly fine, but do you think it's too late to get started? I personally don't think so. But for somebody out there who's thinking about picking up their first handful of silver coins, and maybe it's something that they're interested in potentially doing on a consistent basis, or a somewhat consistent basis from here on out, every couple weeks or every couple months, maybe they plan on, or they're considering getting some more and more and more and more. Do you think it's too late to get started? Do you think it's too late to get the ball rolling on a silver stacking journey? Head on down to the comments and let me know. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive bonus videos. Get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel in the biggest possible way. Got t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, and coffee mugs. Bunch of different colors, bunch of different designs, many of which are helping raise funds and awareness for different charity organizations. Try out some G Fuel energy formula, $5 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. Sugar-free, low-calorie, packed with a whole bunch of vitamins, over 50 different flavors to choose from, and it's absolutely delicious. Try it out, $5 off the first order. Click the link in the description. And of course, last but certainly not least, make sure to go and get your up to 12 free fractional shares by downloading Webull and funding your account. You can deposit as little as you'd like, even as little as a penny. It still works, it still counts. You still get your up to 12 free fractional shares, which you can keep and hang on to if that's what you want. Or you can sell those free stocks for free currency and essentially go and get yourself some free silver with it if that's what you choose to do. Webull link in the description. Everything is linked in the description. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know one more time, what are your thoughts on everything shared in today's video? If you've been stacking for a couple years now, or maybe a couple months, do you plan on continuing to stack? Do you plan on continuing to add more and more silver, potentially gold, to the stack? Maybe you've scaled back and you're focused on other opportunities right now, kind of like what I'm doing. I'll pick up a coin every now and then if I find something that looks pretty cool, or something that I want to have, or something that I think I could make a cool video about. But other than that, I'm not focused on it at this time. I think that the world will eventually get back to a place where stacking makes more sense. I don't think it doesn't make sense today. I just think other methods make more sense at this time. And 5 years ago, the opposite was true. 5 years ago, I was like, yeah, it probably makes more sense to be stacking right now than investing. But right now, times are very different. Right now, we are just in a completely different place. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and Let me know your thoughts. Is it too late to start stacking silver for the people out there who haven't started yet? Is it too late to continue stacking silver? I disagree with both of those. I don't think it's too late for either. It really all comes down to personal preference and what your priority is right now. Maybe, you know, maybe you're older than I am. Maybe you're more established than I am. Maybe you are significantly more deep-rooted into your company that you work for. You know, for me, I'm only 11 months deep at my company. I just got a promotion. I'm just now opening up the 401k. I have a ways to go. So maybe you're in a different stage of your life where it makes more sense to be saving or preserving what you've already built up. For me, I have a long way to go, and I have a lot that still needs to be built. So I'm much more focused on building wealth at this time as opposed to preserving wealth. But once again, I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.